Let's be honest, these days just using a VPN isn't enough anymore. Ads track you, malware lurks in seemingly normal downloads, your personal data's floating around in databases you didn't even know existed, and most people end up paying for 3 or 4 different subscriptions just to try to protect themselves. But what if I told you there's a single tool that solves all of this at once? Today, I'm going to explain exactly what Surfshark One is, how each of its tools work, and whether it's really worth the price, or if you're better off sticking with the basic plan. And if by the end of the video you want to try it out, the link with the best deal available will be waiting for you in the description. Before I talk about Surfshark One itself, I need to explain something that confuses a lot of people. Surfshark doesn't just have one plan, it has 3, and understanding the difference between them is key so you don't end up paying more than you need to, or worse, paying less and missing out on important protection. The first one is called Surfshark Storta. It's the basic plan and starts at about $2 a month if you go for a long-term plan. It includes the VPN and a tool called Alternative ID, which basically lets you create a fake online identity to protect your real data when you sign up for websites. Useful, yes, but limited. If what you're looking for is complete protection, this plan falls short. Then there's Surfshark One, which is the plan we're going to talk about in depth today, and the one I personally recommend for most people. It costs around $270 a month, so less than $1 more than the starter. And for that minimal difference, you unlock antivirus, ad and tracker blocking, data breach monitoring, and private internet search, all integrated into a single app. In a moment, I'll explain each of these tools in detail. And finally, there's Surfshark One Plus, the premium plan, which is about $4 a month. The difference with One is that it adds a service called Incogni, which tracks down and removes your personal information from data broker databases. It's a pretty powerful service, but also quite specific. Not everyone needs it, and that's why the price jump might not be justified for everyone. Look, if I had to sum it up in one sentence, starters for those who just want a VPN, One Plus is for those who want the highest level of privacy, and One is the perfect middle ground for the vast majority. Plus, all 3 plans come with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can try it out with no risk. Alright, now let's get into it. Surfshark One isn't just a VPN with an antivirus slapped on top, it's a complete security ecosystem, and I want to explain each part so you understand exactly why it makes sense to have them all together. The first and most obvious thing is the VPN. Surfshark encrypts all your internet traffic, hides your IP address, and lets you connect from servers in different countries. I've tested it myself, and the impact on speed is minimal thanks to the WireGuard protocol. In fact, in my tests, Surfshark ranks as one of the fastest VPNs on the market. But what really sets the One plan apart is the antivirus. And I'm not talking about some second-rate antivirus. A V-Test Institute, which is basically the global benchmark for antivirus evaluation, gave Surfshark a perfect score of 6 out of 6 in protection. It has real-time protection, 24/7, full scans, quick scans, scheduled scans, and even a drag-and-drop feature to analyze individual files. And best of all, it's built right into the same VPN app. No extra installations, no complicated setups. There's also a feature I find particularly interesting and that not many antiviruses offer: webcam protection. It blocks any unauthorized attempts to access your camera. Then there's Clean Web, which is Surfshark's ad, tracker, and malicious URL blocker. In its browser extension version, it also gets rid of those annoying cookie pop-ups that show up on every website. I'm telling you from personal experience. Browsing with Clean Web turned on makes a huge difference in comfort and page load speed. Next, we have Surfshark Alert, which constantly monitors whether your email, credit card data, or other personal information appears in any online data breach. And finally, there's Surfshark Search, a private search engine that doesn't track your searches, doesn't show you ads, and doesn't personalize results based on your history. Look, any company can claim their product is the best in the world. What matters to me are the real numbers, independent tests, and the day-to-day user experience. Let's start with the VPN. One of the most common concerns when using a VPN is the loss of speed. In my tests with Surfshark, the impact on speed was minimal thanks to the WireGuard protocol. Currently, Surfshark ranks as the second fastest VPN on the market, just behind NordVPN, and by a very small margin. I also ran IP and DNS leak tests on multiple servers, which basically check if your real information is leaking even with the VPN active. I didn't find any leaks, the connection is properly secured, and for me, that's the bare minimum any VPN that takes privacy seriously should provide. Now, regarding jurisdiction, there's a detail worth mentioning. Surfshark operates out of the Netherlands, which isn't exactly the strictest country when it comes to privacy laws. Moving on to the antivirus, in tests with more than 150 different malware files, Surfshark detected about 90% of them. That puts it on par with the leading antivirus programs on the market, which have detection rates between 90% and 100%. But I do have to be honest with you about something. When I ran a full scan on my PC, CPU usage shot up quite a bit. But to be fair, that happens with pretty much every antivirus on the market during a deep scan. My recommendation is simple. Schedule scans for times when you're not using your computer heavily, like at night or while you're having breakfast. And that's it. You won't notice any difference. What I would like to see in future updates is the addition of a built-in firewall. For now, Surfshark doesn't have it, although it's worth mentioning that it's not the only antivirus without this feature. Now we've reached the part everyone cares about the most. How much does it cost, and is it worth paying for? Surfshark Starter starts at about $2 a month. Surfshark One is around $270 a month, and Surfshark One Plus is about $4 a month. All of these are long-term plans, and all come with a no-questions-asked 30-day money-back guarantee. Now think about it this way, a decent standalone antivirus can cost you between $30 and $50 a year. A quality VPN? Another $40 to $60 a year. A data breach monitoring service? Another $20 or $30. Plus, if you add it all up, you're easily spending over $100 a year on 3 different subscriptions with 3 different apps, 3 renewals to remember, and 3 separate companies handling your security. Surfshark One gives you all of that for less than $30 a year. The math speaks for itself, but I also want to be honest with you about when it doesn't make sense. If you already have a paid antivirus that works well and you're not willing to switch, then the One plan doesn't really add much extra value for you. In that case, the starter plan is perfectly sufficient. There's no point in paying for something you already have covered. My personal verdict is this: Surfshark One is the sweet spot. For less than $3 a month, you get a fast and reliable VPN, antivirus with real protection proven by independent labs, ad and tracker blocking, leak monitoring, and private search, all in one app, hassle-free. For the vast majority of people who want to stay protected without becoming cybersecurity experts, this is the smartest option on the market today. And if you want to take advantage of it, remember that I left the link with the best deal available right now in the video description and the pinned comment. The prices I mentioned are already low, but with the active discount, they can be even better. It's worth checking it out before it changes. And that's it.